Hello and welcome to episode 49 of Mathghamhain Morsels, again in the Merry Meals series. And today I'm going to be doing a extremely hearty and delicious breakfast option, a rolled omelet. So, again, this is going to be one of those meals where you don't need all the ingredients I'm using. Use the ingredients that you like. I just decided to go ridiculously meat lover's omelet with some onion and mushrooms and delicious cheeses. But use whatever ingredients you prefer. So I have some sausages, as you can see. I have two different types of bacon. I have lovely cottage bacon that I've just cut into strips after frying off. And I have some jowl bacon, which is absolutely delicious. And I have some sautéed onions and sautéed mushrooms. I just did those in the fat that's left after cooking the sausages and bacon. I also have some ham, which is out of camera shot because it's a bit crowded at the moment. I have an absolutely lovely garlic herb cheese, as well as just some mild cheddar slices. And then, of course, egg. And some milk to thin out the eggs in order to be able to do what I want to do. So, everyone's had omelets before, but I'm not sure if everyone's had a rolled omelet before. So, most people, when they make an omelet, it's just folding in half, and you have some bites that have the ingredients, some bites are pretty much just egg. A rolled omelet makes it so that every single bite that you have has the cheese, has the mushrooms and onions and peppers and whatever the hell you like in your omelet. It makes sure that it's in every single bite. So, I'm going to show you guys how to make that, and that's really what this video is more about than the amazing ingredients that I've been able to source for this. So, this is going to start fairly simple. Just like any other omelet, starts with some eggs. So, crack your egg, and you want the whites and the yolks, unless you're trying to go really healthy, and then you can separate the yolks. I've shown you two ways of doing that before, but just in case someone needs a refresher, one of the ways is just by pouring the yolk back and forth between the two halves of the shell, and then you'd get rid of the yolk. I like yolk, it adds richness, so I'm just going to throw that straight in. The other way I showed was with an empty bottle. You can suck up just the yolk and get the yolk out of your egg that way. So, there's my eggs. Let me just wipe my hand. Just transferring the yolk back and forth. Got a little bit of egg on it. So just wipe my fingers clean. And then to this you can add in your salts, whatever herbs you're using, a little bit of pepper. I'm going to add just a little bit of redolile, which is a Hawaiian sea salt. But the main thing that I want to do is I want to thin out these eggs a little bit. But I want to add a creaminess to it as well. So I'm going to add some whole milk. And mix that in. And you really want to mix your eggs well so that you don't see the bits of white or yolk floating around independently. You want it all to be incorporated. Once you get it all incorporated, which can take a little bit of time if it's being a bit stubborn like mine is right now, then you're going to be moving to the kitchen, where you're going to want to start with a not fully preheated square pan if you have one. Square skillet, really. Because that'll allow you to get the folded or the rolled omelet down a little bit easier. You can do it in a circular pan. It just doesn't even out quite as nicely. So, just to save some time, I'm going to cut off here, finish incorporating the egg and milk so that it's nice and homogeneous, and I'll join you guys back in the kitchen and I'll start showing you how to make this omelet. I won't walk you through the entire process because at a certain point it just becomes repetitive, but I'll show you up until the point where it's just second verse, same as the first, until you're done. So I'll join you guys back in the kitchen in a second here. Okay, so here we are in my kitchen. And what you want to do is, like I said, start with a not fully preheated pan. Get just a paper towel and some oil, whatever your preferred oil is for the day. Today, because I have a lot of really strong flavors in my omelet, I'm just going for a very simple vegetable oil. So, grease the entire bottom of your pan, and then you want to pour your eggs in, and you want to pour them in, not so that you poured in all your eggs, but so that your eggs are entirely covering the bottom of your skillet. And you want the temperature to slowly rise up. And you can see in some of these areas where the whites didn't get entirely incorporated. That's perfectly fine. You don't need to worry about that. It's not going to ruin the omelet. It just means that you have some parts that are a bit more egg white, some parts that are a bit more egg yolk. But you can also use that to tell when the bottom is starting to set up. You don't want it completely set, you just want it to be starting to set up. And you can start adding some of your ingredients. You don't add them all in one go because you're just going to be rolling this and getting it to be absolutely amazing. But if you're using slices of cheese, this is a good point to start adding some of your slices. I'm using slices as well as little cubes of the garlic herb cheese that I mentioned. So going to add some of those. Going to add a little bit of sausage as well. And I'm just going to let this continue to gradually heat. So I'm going to shift it around on the heat a little bit just to make sure that the entire bottom of the pan does get warmed up nicely so I can get the entire base of the omelet to start setting up, because currently I'm seeing the corners are fairly runny. So I'm just going to be shifting my skillet around, letting especially the corners up at the top get a bit more heat right now. Because I want the portion of the omelet that's closest to me to get done a little bit before the portion that's further down the pan. Because once this side starts to set nicely, I'll be able to start the roll. Which, of course, a rolled omelet needs to be rolled. So don't be afraid to shift your pan around your heating elements. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it isn't. While I'm waiting for that, I can also add on a few more ingredients. You don't want to get too greedy at any given point, because remember, you're going to be adding more ingredients as you go. In fact, what I can do is I can start adding cheese to the further away segment of the omelet. This is one part of making this omelet that I'm terrible at. I tend to add way too many ingredients way too quickly, which I'm trying to avoid. I'm getting a little bit of a air pocket underneath this side. Let's see if it's just about set. So I'm just going to very gently go around the outer edge, especially towards this top part. It looks like this corner is still a little bit rawer than the other side, but it's coming together fairly nicely. So you just want to very gently pull the omelet away from the edge of the pan. That way when you start rolling it, it won't try to tear near the pan. It'll come up with the roll and go nicely. So just going to add some of my ingredients on the other half as well. Get a couple nice pieces of sausage on that side. This looks like it's good to come up. So what you want to do is very gently start teasing it up and away, up and away, up and away. And you want to make sure that it doesn't start to tear. You can get your other hand in there. Careful, it is rather hot now, but just keep on teasing it away from the pan and rolling it a little bit more every time that you get a section up. Just kind of push it forward as you pull it up so that it starts to just roll up for you. This one side, like I said, this was a side that was a little bit less cooked, so that's the side that's giving me a bit more trouble. But that is what you would expect. Let me get another spatula in here. And what I'm going to do is just continue my gentle process of make sure that it's off the bottom of the pan, off the side of the pan, and roll it up a bit more. Any sections that are sticking, I want to give a bit more attention, and then continue to roll. And now I'm at the end of my pan. So what I want to do is I want to very gently get this last roll in. And that's the last one that I can get with my omelet at this point. So what I'm going to do is again tease away from the edge. And that one far side is still a bit runny most places, but it has some areas that were a bit less runny, so get those brought back to this side of the pan. Scrape the bottom towards the rolled section if you need. I'm going to use my other spatula for this. So get that all towards this side, and then what you want to do is again get that paper towel that you oiled with before, dip it into your oil again, and you want to wipe down the section in front of your omelet. want to pour a bit more of your egg. Not all of your egg, but a bit more of your egg. And I'm not going to use all the ingredients that I had laid out. I laid out a lot of them. So I'm going to be eating some of these with my omelet rather than in my omelet. But I'm always a fan of having too many ingredients and not being able to fit them all in versus having too few ingredients and not being able to get all the flavors I like. So, I'm going to throw down some onion, throw down some of that jowl bacon that I have, because I definitely want to get that in. And then I'm going to fold this piece of cheese, put that down on top of that, got a bit more of that other bit of cheese that I have. Crumble that around. And now, just like before, I'm going to start at this side of the pan. Make sure that it's pulled away from the edge as much as I can. And then I'm going to roll this forward, scraping the bottom, making sure that I don't let the omelet stick and tear. A bit of that cheddar cheese was able to get to the bottom of this side, so I'm getting a nice little cheese crust that's about to be rolled face up. And at this point, it's becoming a bit redundant. So this is the point where I'm actually going to kill this video. Because you get the point, it's just scrape and roll, getting all those amazing ingredients incorporated in, getting those flavors that you want. So I will join you back at my desk once I have a complete omelet. Okay, like I said, I always get to a certain point where I end up completely overfilling the omelet. This thing is a monster, and it's beautiful. It doesn't look that great because I overfilled the last layer. So let me just peel back this and get some of this cheese back onto that ham. This is what the outermost layer would have looked like had I not gotten greedy and decided I'm going to throw way too much ham onto this. This thing's going to be delicious, though. Good God, this thing's going to be delicious. So let me throw back on that kind of janky-looking lid because I put too much ham, but like I said, the advantage of this sort of omelet versus a traditional folded omelet is just you get everything in every single bite. So you can see sausage, you can see bacon, you can see ham, an onion, and some mushroom. Oh, good God, that's delicious. You can't go wrong with this omelet, other than by overfilling it and making it not look very nice. Oh, God, the flavors are all there, though. As long as you put things that you like into this omelet, it'll be absolutely delicious. I love the cheeses I put in. I love the meats that I put in. And this is just all of those. In every single bite. There's no way that you could get a bite of this omelet other than by very meticulously peeling off just the outermost layer, and even then I got a bit of ham. But you could get a single bite of this omelet that doesn't have pretty much everything. You can't just get a bite of egg unless you purposefully scrape egg off the top so that you can get that bite of only egg. Unlike a more standard folded omelet, this one is a bit more time intensive, but it's worth it. When I make an omelet, I make this sort of omelet, I'm still terrible at deciding how much I need to throw in at any given point. I was good up until that final layer where I just decided I wanted to get all of the ham in one go. Because, yeah, I put, like, way too many slices of ham. But if you can get the right balance of ingredients, it looks beautiful. You can find pictures of it online very easily. Just type in rolled omelet. There's a Japanese version and there's a European version. Both are absolutely delicious. This is a European version because it doesn't include mirin and all the other ingredients in it. The Japanese version is normally just egg. And it's rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled so that you get this just disc of egg when you take a slice out of it. Also, the amazing thing about this type of omelet is, unlike a normal omelet where it's pretty much one omelet per person, this one, you can make an enormous omelet and then just divvy it up. Cut a segment for this person, and a segment for that person, and a segment for this person. And as long as you made a large enough omelet that everyone's happy at the end, you don't have to make 5, 10, 15, 20 omelets, however many people you're cooking for. You just make one omelet and slice it up. It's fantastic. So, I'll leave you guys off here as I continue eating this monster, which I may have made too much, but I'll just pack it away and use it as like breakfast sandwich filling, because that would be amazing, and this does make it a fantastic breakfast sandwich filling. Just take a segment like that big, slap it in between two pieces of bread. Oh, so good. But before I get distracted and continue yammering on, I'll leave you guys off with try new things, enjoy your food, enjoy your life. Have a good one all.